But if you live on the western part of Washington, these toll texts could be a little more concerning. Scammers are sending fake messages claiming you have unpaid tolls. If you click on the link, your personal information could be stolen.
We are aboard one of Washington's most busiest ferries, Walla Walla, or so we thought.
This building continues to decay at the beginning of Main Street. As you can see behind me, the paint is now peeling off the walls as well as graffiti lining the outside of the building.
After struggling defensively last season, missing over 20 tackles in a single game against Boise State, the Cougars are making tackling a top priority under new head coach Jimmy Rogers.
Yeah, are you out there dancing with everybody?
No, it is a beautiful day to fly a kite with clear skies and some breeze. Update Cougs, the game is delayed until tomorrow, starting at the bottom half of the first inning.
WSU won with the final score being 77-65. Anyway, Cougs, stay tuned for the UW game here at Beasley Coliseum at 6 p.m. on March 7th. See you then.
I'm here, crazy place for the Cougs here in the second quarter. 2 touchdowns back-to-back.
Behind me, these turbines stretch as far as you can see.
Washington State baseball completed a 3-game sweep over San Diego State with a commanding 12-5 victory Sunday at Bailey Brayton Field. Her performances were highlighted for the Cougs this season, and now both athletes are heading to the NCAA D1 Indoor Track and Field Championships. The Cougars will compete against teams like Eastern Washington, Belmont, and Tennessee State. And that's a wrap for today's Sport Highlights. Stay tuned for more updates on Washington State athletics.
It looks like an urgent message telling you to pay an unpaid toll immediately or face extra fines. But officials warn these text messages aren't coming from your state's toll agency.
I mean, the texts are they look pretty like fake and stuff, but I could see where it could be misleading for elderly or people who don't really know the difference between a real and fake one.
Have you been getting text messages about unpaid tolls? Me too. But here's the problem. I'm in Pullman and there are no toll roads here. But if you live on the western part of Washington, these toll texts could be a little more concerning. Scammers are sending fake messages claiming you have unpaid tolls. If you click on the link, your personal information could be stolen.
This is what the real website looks like. Always type in the official web address yourself and never trust a link from a random text. If you are unsure, check your state's transportation website for the correct toll payment portal.
A building that has become the source of many questions in downtown Pullman, the Mimosa Building, a long abandoned property in the heart of Main Street.
You know, we've taken a lot of heat over the years about that building and how horrible it is.
With the city's efforts to modernize downtown date back to 1996, when a catastrophic flood from the South Fork of the Palouse River destroyed much of downtown, businesses were lost, buildings were damaged, and the town was left to rebuild.
As Pullman continues to grow, the questions remain. What should become of the Mimosa Building? Is it too far gone to be saved? Does it have a future?
You know, we often joke that what we really did was we bought this parking lot and it just happened to have this icky building attached to it.
Despite this town's growth and the $11.7 million downtown Pullman project, this building continues to decay at the beginning of Main Street. As you can see behind me, the paint is now peeling off the walls as well as graffiti lining the outside of the building.
And so that's kind of what it's been ever since then. My husband went in. There had been times that we had talked about, well, you know, maybe we could, you know, go in and, you know, kind of rough it in, make it something that we could lease it to somebody.
For some Pullman residents, the Mimosa Building has become a symbol of neglect. Others, it's a reflection of the complexities of ownership and the challenges of addressing a problem that many feel has been ignored for far too long.
The city actually approached us about buying it, and I told them what I wanted for it, and they came back with kind of this really ridiculously low number. And I just said, no, because they wanted it to be able to sort of stage all their equipment and their supplies to do this Main Street project, which would have made a whole lot of sense, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where it was. So when we couldn't come to terms on a price, I said no. And I said, you know, so what does that mean? I mean, are we, you know, I mean, are you going to allow people to park down there? What's going on? No, oh, no, you know, no, that won't happen, blah, 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 blah. Well, the workmen and associated trucks and a variety of things have parked in that lot the entire time. So, you know, I'm not okay with that. You didn't even keep your word on that. No, it did kept that lot open a little bit so that, at least those businesses there could get a little bit of traffic to be helpful. But, but that's really not who parked there. It was the workers and people associated with the construction projects who were parked down there.
A building that has once caught a lot of attention has now been decaying for over 2 decades.
Really, the plans only got as far as he went in and pretty much gutted the inside of it down to the studs, took out the furnaces and the air conditioners. There's no electricity in that building. Took out the old bathrooms, all of that. I mean, it is really pretty much down to a cement floor and, some walls. And that's it. So, and that's where it is.
And this is Bailey Peffer reporting in Pullman.